Hello friends, welcome to engineering tutorial. So today we are going to resume our discussion on sensors and transducers, transducers and instrumentation. So we will continue our discussion related to transducers for measurement of various parameters. So in today's video we'll be discussing about a new kind of transducer which is called as magnetostrictive transducers, and the basic application which we'll discuss is the measurement of force and pressure, because these two parameters are interrelated, so we'll be discussing that. So first we have to discuss the main principle on which this transducer is based on. So it is called as the magnetostrictive effect. Okay, so also called as magnetostriction. So in this effect, which is basically applicable for especially in ferromagnetic materials, is that when they are exposed to a changing magnetic field, a fluctuating magnetic field, they undergo a change in their shape or size, in their physical dimensions. Okay, now the reason for this is that we know that in ferromagnetic materials we have a lot of dipoles, which align themselves to form domains. So there are a lot of dipoles, and the cluster of these dipoles, they are called as domains, and they are focused, they are oriented in a particular direction. So when it is exposed to a magnetic field, because of the large number of dipoles, they realign themselves in the direction of the magnetic field, and in that process it causes a change in the shape or size of that material. That is the property of magnetostriction. So basically it is exposed to magnetic field, external magnetic field, it undergoes a change in shape and size, dimensions. Okay, this is for ferromagnetic materials. This is what the magnetostrictive effect is. Okay, now there are a lot of other discussions to what extent the variation happens, the change in shape and size happens. So that is a different discussion that we'll cover in material science. Here we are only focused to the point on how this phenomena will help us in the design of this transducer. So this is magnetostrictive effect. Now there is a reverse effect. Okay, that is, if any external stress is applied, pressure is applied, okay, external force, pressure, stress is applied, okay, it causes a change in the magnetic characteristics or the magnetic behavior parameters of the material, ferromagnetic material. So like susceptibility, permeability, that undergoes a change. So here we are focused on permeability or relative permeability of the material. Okay, relative permeability mu r. So how this relative permeability will help us? See, generally the ferromagnetic material, it is designed in the form of a simple structure, in simple transducers. There are complicated ones, we'll start with the simple one. And generally in the form of a solenoid or toroid. So solenoid is a cylindrical laminated core over which we have It's a ferromagnetic material over which we have a number of turns of closely packed wires, okay, and when current passes through it, it produces a magnetic field. And toroid is, we have a circular one, the principle is same, closely packed wires, number of turns, and that produces a magnetic flux density due to a current carrying coil, which is given by this mu 0 mu r n I, where mu 0 is absolute permeability, mu r is relative permeability, n is the number of turns of wire, and I is the current flowing through it. So here the important thing to note is the relationship between magnetic flux density and the relative permeability. This is constant. Absolute permeability is constant, permeability of free space, but relative permeability and magnetic flux density, okay, the relationship between this magnetic flux density and relative permeability. Number of turns of wire is fixed, and also we can set the current flowing through the transducer or the solenoid and toroid. We can fix it, we can keep it constant. So only thing which is varying is relative permeability and magnetic flux density, and we have to establish a relationship between these two, because this is the parameter, okay, this is the parameter which is dependent on stress, external stress or force or pressure, this, okay. External stress, force, pressure causes a change in relative permeability, and change in relative permeability will cause a change in magnetic flux density, increase or decrease, okay. Then we know the magnetic flux, that is the number of magnetic lines of force passing through an area. So in this case we are talking about this toroid or solenoid. So the number of magnetic lines of force passing through it, that is called as magnetic flux, and we know it is the dot product of the magnetic field vector and the area element vector, okay, the dot product of these two, which is B vector dot A vector, which is BA cos theta. And then another important property which is utilized here is Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, okay, because according to Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, whenever there is a change in flux, there will be a induced EMF which is given by this, okay, the induced EMF which will be given by n d phi v by dt. We are only talking about the magnitude. Actually it is Faraday and Lenz's law combined, it is minus n d phi v by dt, but here we are not concerned about the sign convention. Here we are only interested in the magnitude. So let's understand the basic principle. First we have stress or pressure or force, okay, whatever it is, force, stress, pressure, whatever it is, that is applied, that causes a change in relative permeability. Relative permeability causes a change in magnetic flux density. Magnetic flux density causes a change in magnetic flux. Change in magnetic flux causes or produces an EMF. This is the basic principle. So we have an external mechanical parameter, physical parameter, that is force, pressure, stress, whatever you want to call it, that is translated into a voltage signal, an electrical signal, okay. It is in the form of EMF, and if we connect a particular resistor or something or any other element, capacitor, inductor, whatever, we convert it into current, signal transduction element, okay. So this is the basic principle of magnetostrictive sensors. Now this can be used for measurement of force, pressure, acceleration, torque, strain, a lot of other applications, displacement. So we'll be discussing that one by one. Here we are only interested in force and pressure. So what is the basic design? Okay, so before that we'll discuss what kind of materials are used. So the magnetostrictive materials, they, as I said, they belong to the ferromagnetic category. So generally iron, nickel, cobalt, they are generally used for the design of these kind of sensors, the transducers. So the basic construction, it consists of the current carrying ferromagnetic coil, solenoid or toroid. This is the simplest construction, simplest design. There can be complicated ones also, but you understand the simpler one. Then if complicated ones arise, we'll discuss it. So solenoid, toroid, the current carrying ferromagnetic material, then electrodes to capture the EMF signal, and protective casing. So this is the basic design. So we have a protective case, we have the solenoid and toroid, whatever it is, depending upon the requirement, depending upon the functional requirement, and then we have a design such that the force or pressure is applied at this particular point, which is called as the impact point. The force, the pressure, the stress, whatever it is applied at this point. Then this whole force or pressure is channelized into this current carrying ferromagnetic element, the magnetostrictive element, which causes a change in its relative permeability, that causes a change in magnetic flux density B, that causes a change in magnetic flux. Change in magnetic flux produces a EMF according to Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. Okay, so this is the basic principle. So again, depending upon what kind of output we want, whether we want it in terms of pressure or we want it in terms of force, that we can decide depending upon the calibration what kind of output we want according to this formula: stress, force per unit cross sectional area. Okay, so if we want it in terms of force, it will be stress multiplied with area. If we want it in terms of stress, it will be force per unit area, Newton per meter square, or simply in terms of newtons. So there is a working formula here where this stress, the applied stress and the EMF, they are related as per this relationship, where the EMF which is generated, that is given by SAN, the rate of change of the time varying stress with respect to time. Okay, so here this is the rate of change of stress, increase or decrease with respect to time. S is the sensitivity of the transducer. A is the area, coil area, the solenoid or toroid, whatever it is, the area of the coil, and N is the number of turns of coil. So these are the three working formulas here. You always remember this. Stress causes a change in relative permeability. Relative permeability causes a change in magnetic flux density. Okay, magnetic flux density causes a change in magnetic flux, and magnetic flux causes a change in EMF, and this is the final result, SAN sigma T by dt. Okay, so this is the basic principle of the magnetostrictive transducer for measurement of force or pressure. So this is one setup using toroid, this is another setup using solenoid. In some cases we have multiple solenoids arranged in kind of in series in array format, and in some cases we have a series of toroids present. In some cases horseshoe shaped arrangement is there, depending upon the requirement. Okay, so this is the simplest version. Okay, So always remember the basic principle, which is the magnetostrictive effect. That is, first, change in magnetic properties causes a change in physical properties. That is, change in magnetic field causes a change in shape and size. That is the magnetostrictive effect. The reverse effect, that is application of external mechanical force, pressure, stress, that causes a change in the magnetic characteristics. Permeability, susceptibility, basically permeability, that thing is utilized, which is the relative permeability of the material. And then for solenoid and toroid, this is the relationship between relative permeability and magnetic flux density, mu 0 mu r Ni, and that causes a change in magnetic flux. Change in magnetic flux produces a change in that produces an EMF or voltage signal as per Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, and that gives us this result. Okay, so this is the basic design of the magnetostrictive sensor. So as you can see, this is the impact point. So here the force or pressure, the impact happens, which causes a change in magnetic permeability of the wire here. Okay, and as a result of that change in magnetic relative permeability of the wire, it causes a change in the flux, magnetic flux density, and magnetic flux density causes a change in magnetic flux. This is a solenoid system. Okay, so this is the solenoid system. Then we also have the toroid based system, which is here. Okay, this is the basic design. Okay, and the impact, as I said, it happens at this point. Okay, so this is the basic design, and these two wires are connected to the two electrodes from where the EMF is taken. Okay, so this is the basic design. Simplest design. There can be more complicated designs as well. Okay, so this is all about magnetostrictive transducers for force and pressure measurement. Okay, so I hope you like this video, and please subscribe my channel Engineering Tutorial for more such videos related to engineering, science and technology. Have a great day. Thank you very much.